Hey there guys, how you doing? That's me back. Unfortunately, there seems to be a bit of an issue with my microphone here. During the recording of this, you are going to hear some pops, some crackles, everything like that. Not too common, but I am sorry about that. You are going to hear them, just letting you know. Morning folks, how are we doing? I am back. The old computer is well and truly dead now. It is gone. My new computer is set up. I have a big old monitor here. I only have one right now, so live streaming is kind of out of the question, unfortunately, right now. The next one should be arriving in the next couple of days, so hopefully I can live stream over the next couple of days. So yeah, got it all set up. This monitor is fucking massive. It is weird. I've finally seen a game in 60 frames per second, I think. I was blown away. I cried a little bit. It's been absolutely beautiful. But because I can't really do live streams right now, I want to quickly get these out because I don't want to be 3 episodes behind on this, because I know a lot of people just say they're not going to watch it. They wait for my reactions to it. So I thought, why not? This is a Boogie tonight. It gets roasted by Wings. This is the quote-unquote lost episode. They only got one of the 2 episodes they've recorded. Apparently the first one isn't very good, though. The second one's where they said it really started hitting a stride, but that's the one that is entirely lost, I think. I don't know. Maybe eventually they'll get it again in the future. Hasn't performed really well. I think it's about 70,000-ish views. It's not overly well performing, but whatever, sure, 100%. The view counts have dropped quite a bit. It's down to I think about 100,000 views per episode now, which is not great, but it's not bad either. So let's just get straight into this, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to watch the lost episode of LolCow Live. That's right, we finally got our hands on
exciting.
this lost footage, and you're about to see it. Let me set the
They
stage.
got it before even the first episode came out, because I remember I was watching. That's when Tommy C had came on after recording with Boogie, and he was complaining about how annoying Boogie was to work with. Nicholas Diorio during that was able to download, because I think it was unstreamable or something like that. Because they thought this is I don't know. It's one of the reasons why I was thinking about doing a video just on the overall LolCow Live, the podcast, and I'm just going to give my thoughts on the general premise of it. But I understand why a lot of people think most of it is fake, because so much of it comes across as fake, and it's just kind of weird. And I saw Null, the guy who owns Kiwi Farms, talking about it recently, and he said you might as well call it the Big Dumb Tard Podcast or something like that, because no one is going to want to be on it. Because you're it's you might as well name it that, because no one else will really choose to be on it, because you're pretty much inviting someone on to say, well, you're a LolCow. It's like I tried to get Chris Chan on, and Chris Chan came out and totally was just shit all over them. I was just no, it's weird that you're even calling me a LolCow. You're obviously just trying to use me for clout. It's kind of weird, which is someone else wrote that for Chris probably, but whatever. I was thinking about doing a video on it, because it was so weird that they acted like this was a true lost episode, even though they had a link to it, but they said it's a website that they couldn't download from, and then Nicholas Diorio instantly downloaded from. It's why I think Nicholas Diorio, probably Turkey Tom, and Mudahar are genuine. I don't think they're bought into it. I think Keem, everything to do with the Keem stuff is really fake. The Boogie stuff I think is fake. Tommy C, I'm not as sure. I don't think it's fake. But I just don't know, because you just sat there going, why didn't you just screen record it? If it was something you couldn't download, why didn't you screen record it? So I don't know, but this is what we got from it. I might just cut out the rest of his introduction, because honestly Keem's introductions are not great. So
All right, this was recorded as a pilot episode, as a test episode before we launched the show. It was recorded back in June, right after Wings and Boogie fought each other. The entire internet was giving them both praise. They were getting so much love and so much attention.
I feel like I need to include it now, because I kind of disagree with that, because I remember Boogie after the documentary, when Wings was talking about the boxing and the figures and all. Wings said that his amount of trolling has gone down substantially after the boxing match, and Boogie promised, well, that's because you won. I was not really. It's because Wings actually tried. Wings actually lost 15, 20 pounds. Wings actually looked like he had put a little bit of effort in. Boogie clearly didn't put any effort in, and then later would go on to admit that he didn't actually do any training for it outside of that. Occasionally he pretended to box that random guy at that convention video, or he punched the punchback a couple of times, because we knew he wasn't doing any training, because if he was doing training, that's the shit he would have monetized. He would have, because it was easily getting his most views anytime he put up a picture of him doing a workout regime. But it came across as Boogie was just there because he wanted the attention. He didn't actually want to do any effort, which is just, it just sums up Boogie's entire existence now. He is just here for attention. He doesn't really care how he, really looks afterwards. He just wants the attention.
that DSP went behind my back and was trying to do this podcast with Wings and Boogie without me. However, we got rid of DSP, we replaced him with Tommy C, and we were about to do the pilot episode. The problem was there was a person in our group chat.
You've already explained this in the first episode about the group chat, and you're going to blame DSP for it, but was weird because previously you had blamed Wings, and then at one point Boogie was blamed as inviting this guy, but now it's DSP because they're solely going after DSP. The next video I'm going to react to is them apparently going after DSP, which is just like, okay, I worry how much of LolCow Live is going to be based on DSP because he has come up heavily in like every episode so far, apart from also the documentary, which, you know, wasn't that great.
Organizing everything that nobody knew. It was DSP's buddy. He went off without permission, made all the socials, and this same guy was the only guy that had access to the pilot episode, and he wouldn't give it to us. However, through some methods that I do not wish to disclose at this time, we got the episode. And obviously we kicked that.
I don't get this. It's so fake. We watched the live stream. It happened on live stream. Nicholas Diorio got the link because you guys had the link to the episode, but you didn't know how to download it. And then Nicholas Diorio got it, and he went and downloaded it. That's it. That's how you got the episode. It's so fake that it's not fun.
That guy out. We made all new socials. Everything's good now. But the lost episode has been recovered, and you finally get to watch it now. Roll it.
All right. Hey, everybody, welcome to the LolCow Podcast. I'm here with none other than Boogie29988 and the Wings of
so this is back in June then.
How are you guys
Wings
doing?
of Rejection? I got you.
Wings of Rejection, yes.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing today? Have you?
This is fucking Boogie's face. Oh my God. I love this is back in June. Holy shit, this is back in June. You could have told me this was filmed yesterday. Because during every one of these fucking podcasts, this is his fucking miserable ass face.
I don't know. Dated a girl that's barely of age? Have you conspired with? Have you?
Boogie's currently doing that.
Are we starting with that? Are we starting with that?
Well,
That's
have
so
you conspired
fake.
with somebody to I don't know, fix a Call of Duty match? Either any war is what's going on in Boogie and Wings land?
Not me. You know, I'm just being Boogie at this point. I'm just like just trying to.
Wait, okay, so this was filmed in June. They just said this was filmed in June, not right after the boxing match. So if this was true, this would be coming out before the announcement of Dez, because the announcement of Dez was at the start of July. So this is filmed at the start of June, right after the boxing match, which was like the 10th, I think, of May or something like that. This doesn't make sense for the timeline. Well, admittedly, Tommy C might have known about it because he was part of the group chat where they're all shitting on Boogie behind his back. But it seems weird that they would bring it up during this. But okay, whatever.
Exist, stay alive.
Can I ask Boogie a question?
Just
Sure.
existing, staying
All right.
alive. Fantastic.
How old's your girlfriend?
20.
20.
Oh,
Okay.
She's
When
an
I
adult.
was-
I will send you her ID, Tommy.
What did
No,
you
let's
say?
not do that.
Wow, I'm glad we're still doing this. Holy shit, I'm glad Boogie's never changed. It is like four or 5 months later, depending on whatever timeline this actually is, and he's still just randomly shouting, "I'll send you her ID! I have it in my wallet!"
Let's not do
You
that.
not.
Let's not do
What
that.
is going on?
When I was 26, I tried to date a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, I met her on Plenty of Fish.
And that's why you
Whatever.
really
We got
cringe.
together, traded numbers. How do you do it? Like, all they want to do is text. They ain't got shit
They're-
going on in their life. They
Yeah,
don't
Yeah.
She's
even
not
have
that kind of person. Here's the kind of person she is. Okay,
Oh, I can't wait.
She likes to hang out at my place. She likes to smoke weed. She likes to talk to her mom. She likes to watch movies.
Oh my god, she likes to talk to her mom, guys. Hint, hint, by the way, because she talks to her mom, I can't abuse her. That is literally a claim that Boogie has made. Boogie has made the claim that he cannot possibly be abusive to Dez too, because she talks to her mom. That is actually a claim that he made. This is the guy who claims that he has been through all the abuse in the entire world, but he does not understand what an abusive relationship is. Well, he claims to not understand it, which is obviously a manipulation tactic because he is acting dumb about it. Because in his head, if I go, oh well, I can't possibly be abusive because she talks to her mom. Duh. See, guys, what is that not abuse? I don't know. I'm so confused. By doing that, it's him trying to act like it is physically impossible for him to be abused because he doesn't even understand what abuse is, even though his entire character is literally complaining about being abused.
And she likes to hang out. And that's it. She's not a big texter. She's not on social media a lot.
She's not on social media a lot or a big texter, but me and her met on social media and formed our relationship via text. Fucking fantastic.
She like She likes to be there and in the moment, unless you count the weed, and then she definitely likes to smoke weed before bed. But I mean, she's.
I don't think I would ever feel happy if I had to explain a cigarette. I said, Potato Man, explain to your girlfriend. It's like, oh, well, anytime she's near me, she has to be high. I don't know if I would feel that's a good thing. Anytime she's near me, she has to be high. It's like when he did the Thanksgiving thing, and throughout Thanksgiving with his in-laws, apparently, he was occasionally just popping onto Twitter to be like, I bet the haters are so mad that I'm at Thanksgiving having fun and I have a girlfriend. Just, because the haters don't live rent-free in his mind at all. But even then, he was like showing a picture of her, and she was fucking baked. And obviously, it was just a picture of him and her, so it was like no evidence that they actually went anywhere. But it was just like those two, and she was absolutely baked. And it's just like, what? Someone asked like, why is she baked? Like, oh, she just smoked a lot of her dad's weed. Even though people are like, well, bro, you literally said she didn't have a dad. So fantastic, now she has a dad that she can get weed off. That's outstanding, I guess. But you claim that she only smoked weed when she was socially anxious. When she was socially anxious and needed to go out or needed to film or something like that. But now, when she's at a family event, she needs to be high? Like, none of their stories with Des 2 line up.
She's an atypical person, and she's on the autism spectrum. I'm on the autism.
Oh, there you go. Someone that messaged me recently asked for like a clip of Boogie confirming she was on the autism side. I have a live stream clip of him saying that ages ago, but here you go. I guess here she confirms that she's on the autism spectrum, and also he apparently is as well. If you believe his recent diagnosis, even though like last year he was claiming, even though he also confirmed he was never diagnosed, but then suddenly he is diagnosed. Sure, I'm on the autism, and so is she. So I guess that makes it not a creepy relationship. I guess I think that somehow works.
Spectrum, so we get along in
homosexual.
A little bit what?
Homosexual.
I don't know what the hell's homosexual.
It means you look like a hobo.
It's like when you get into a relationship just to have a place to live.
Oh my God, yeah. She lived on a big farm back home with her animals and her family. She's very happy there.
Sure.
Oh my God.
Sure, she was, and that's why she instantly moved to live with you. He claims that their relationship, his claim, by the way, which I don't believe anyway. I've seen plenty of footage now that I believe he's lying about a lot of the information about his relationship. But his claim is like, oh, well, we got together in, when did he claim? April? I think he claimed April. They got together, and then she had moved in by June. She's so happy, but within 2 months of dating, she lived with me.
Before I got married, we used to talk about what our kids might look like if we got married. Do you guys ask each other how maybe your kids will end up?
Oh my God!
About that.
They would look like.
Why is he doing this weird fake outrage shit? It's like, what the fuck is this? This is really he's very performative here. Okay.
You can use that word. I am allowed to use. Tommy, you're not allowed to use that word. God damn.
Just imagine those redhead kids with like curly hair,
Jesus
just
Christ,
running around. I want a Mountain Dew.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, this is so fake.
We're gonna bring Francis out right at the beginning, huh?
Oh my Christ, this is so fucking fake. Oh wow. I can see why they said the first episode wasn't very good. If it keeps going at this pace, this is fucking bad.
Francis,
look, I've been getting a lot of hell from like dating a 20-year-old girl because I'm a 49-year-old man. I get it. I understand it's creepy and it's weird. Wow. Hell, if I was dating anybody, it's creepy and weird because I'm involved. I get that, okay?
Wow.
But it's a healthy, happy relationship so far. I'm going to say it's not going to fuck up at some point. Some relationships do. Most relationships do.
Do they?
50% of relationships end in death. 50% of relationships end in
what? 50% of relationships end in death? What? What the fuck did he just say? What? Was that a Freudian slip? Is he going to kill Des too? What the fuck? 50% of relationships end in death. Like, he said it like it's a bad thing, because my immediate thought is, okay, well, is he talking about like the husband kills a wife or the wife kills a husband or something? Is he talking about that? Or is he talking about like people live to like happy old age and like there becomes a widow or widower or something like that? Like, what the fuck did he mean by that? That's a Freudian slip. No, Jesus.
Heartbreak. So I'm aiming for the dying one. I'll be glad to die.
I got a pro tip for you. Don't take her to a bar at closing time.
So I can't take her to a bar at all. What are you talking about?
Oh, you're right.
Funny.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
You imagine after all the thing, like they couldn't put him in jail for pulling a gun on Frank Castle, but he accidentally forgets, takes her to a bar, and then he ends up doing some time for underage drinking. Would you imagine that? That'd be kind of funny.
They'd put the sticker on her hand. They give you the little X, and she'd have to go wash it off. Like, I'm gonna teach that fat something right now.
Look, people accuse me of all kinds of nefarious shit. At the end of the day, at least I'm not EDP 445.
No.
it's such a weird comparison. People accuse me of stuff, but at least I'm not a pedo. It's like, people accuse you of being that often. Like, yes, you're not like a confirmed one like EDP, I guess. Congratulations, because he tried to meet a girl for cupcakes. You were talking to Des and she was at least 18, you know, which that's the earliest people have found. Like I said, I don't like to do the accusation stuff because like there's no actual evidence in my opinion that he is. I think he's really creepy. Would I let him near like my daughter if she was like 15? No, certainly not. I wouldn't. He's on the flamenco threshold of like, bro, I would never trust you near my daughter. But like I don't think he actually is one, but it's such a weird, at least I'm not a pedo. It's like, is that really like your gauge on like how good a person you are? Is, well, guys, do you know what? At least I'm not John Wayne Gacy. It's like, yeah, I guess.
No, right? 445 was in the news, strangely enough. Did you hear about that, Wings?
Yeah, I did hear about this one. Which I thought
they were talking about the more recent one.
Oh, really?
I was going for weight loss surgery, and EDP445 felt the need to be charitable and offered me weight loss counseling.
Oh,
you're bigger than me. You're bigger than me.
Did it involve eating cupcakes?
That's funny because, okay, draw attention away from your weird relationship to a weirder relationship. That's not a good idea. It comes across as you trying to put up a smoke screen, which really does look bad. The reason why it's really weird, and Boogie probably shouldn't chime in on this at all, is Boogie gives weight loss advice constantly as like a 450, 500 pound man. It's like, bro, maybe you shouldn't like be giving weight loss advice because like even with weight loss surgery, you didn't really lose that much weight.
What was his weight loss strategy?
I didn't do anything with him. I pretty much ignored his ass, and he made a video saying I was a fat bitch and shit like that.
Shack up with somebody really young. That'll bring to you that'll shed the weight. You'll want to work for her. Is that what he told you?
Well, that didn't work.
I've never spoken to him privately.
He didn't react well to that. He didn't react well to that because like that is like Boogie's entire storyline that he did with the documentary. He wanted it to come across like a hopeful ending that he was now going to live his life for Des and the shrooms that cured him. He was going to go out and live his life and become a super thin, ooh-woo, pretty girl. But instead of doing anything like that, it is just like, I don't know, he's fatter probably than he was. He looks heavier like recently compared to like this compared to like his most recent appearances. He looks heavier now. And it's like, so you want to like to spend the rest of your life with this girl. He's talking on Twitter about like he's going to propose to her at the start of next year and all, which is just, it's really weird to be publicly talking about that shit. Like, it's obviously because he wants attention. He wants a negative response to it. But, I don't know, it's just really weird. It's like if you just tell your girlfriend, it's like, next time we go on holiday, I'm going to propose to you. It's like, no, you keep that a secret so you can propose in secret. That's the romantic thing to do. Boogie's like on Twitter telling fucking randos, I'm going to propose to her next week. It's like, okay, thanks, Boogie, for letting everyone know. But he hasn't changed at all. Like, apparently he's been living with her for about 6 months now, and he hasn't changed. He's gotten fatter. So, like, where's this whole hopeful end of the documentary? It's like, I'm going to go and change my life now, and everything's good. It's almost like we've seen this 50,000 times.
I've never liked his vibe, and if I don't fuck with your vibe, I don't fuck with you.
The man has been caught, what, 10 times now? How many times?
Three that I know of. Three that I know of.
Right?
You've never liked his vibe. I'm sorry, Boogie. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Do not apologize for interrupting Boogie. But Boogie needs to be interrupted. I love Boogie. I was like, oh, he's been caught 10 times. But remember, this is Boogie, the guy who constantly cries about people exaggerating things or lying about him. It's like when you have someone like EDP445 or whatever his name is, you don't need to exaggerate about him because he's bad enough. But I just find it weird that there are two guys who both have been accused of similar things are sitting here talking about it. It's so weird. Obviously, like I said, I don't believe it about either of them, but it's just so weird that this is like the first point of conversation on the LolCow podcast is immediately about underage girls, and then starting to try and like shift onto like shitting out EDP instead of like these two.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to point something out. Something that Wings Redemption, this is probably all getting us in trouble, said years ago that like, you said something about Mr. Mediger years ago.
Oh,
right.
What?
That like the amount of time they talk about sexual degeneracy or pedophilia, you have to wonder what's going on there. Is that correct? I mean,
I don't remember saying that to Mr.
Yeah,
Mediger. I remember saying something along the lines that people that are this for like, well, how am I going to say this? People that are this much into
Oh,
other
this is gonna be
people's
bad.
business have to wonder what kind of skeletons they're holding in their own closet.
You said so, yeah, but you mentioned it in reference to Medgar. If I was saying something, but I just want to let you know, it looks like Medgar beat cancer. He streamed last week. Are you happy?
I don't really keep up with him, honestly.
Yeah, obviously not, because it's like I say, Wings comes across a lot better than certainly Boogie, because Jesus Christ, that's like a very low bar with set. But like Wings is like Achilles' heel, is he always gets so triggered anytime they talk about trolls or someone who's made like a troll video on him. Even if they're like a neutral person, or June the King, who's not like extremely over the top or vitriolic. I don't understand me, because I'm quite vitriolic in some ways and I take the piss a lot. But when you have like June the King, who's like very level, or Down the Rabbit Hole, who's like very level and very analytical and shows all of his evidence. But then you have like Wings being like, oh, he's a fucking bastard, you know, he's a fucking troll, oh, scum, he can never make something like my club. It's just, it always makes Wings look particularly bad. But it's a really bad look, in my opinion. It is just pure projection. Oh, well, if you're calling me out for something, it must be because you're worse. It's like, bro, what fucking cope is that? It's just, I don't know. 100% I believe Wings thinks that. 100% I think Boogie thinks that.
Let me tell you one thing, Tommy. Okay, so take Joss Whedon as a prime example. Joss Whedon was like a very notable feminist, right? A notable feminist, like tweeting about feminism all the time, screaming about feminism all the time, marching for feminism all the time. And it turns out he abused women in the background, right? So there's some truth to the fact that, like, you got to wonder if somebody complains about something all the time and makes it the cornerstone of their personality, why they're doing that, right? Like,
What?
I talk about.
What the fuck? So if someone doesn't like a pedophile, it must be because they're a pedophile. That is Boogie's opinion. That is actually Boogie's opinion. If you call out something and don't like something, it must be because you are that. Okay, Boogie, sure, cool, 100%. I guess that makes sense. Well, you're like the person who like screams that you're super trans acceptive, you're super LGBT acceptive, you know, everything like that, and calling out people for not being that. So is that you tacitly admitting that you're not actually that as well? That you're like a super bigot too?
About like EDP, Christian, like that, because I'm the victim of that. I'm a victim of incest. I'm the victim of child abuse. I'm the victim of sexual abuse when I was a child. So I'm obsessed with it. I like calling people out in our community. I like.
Oh, so it's okay. So it's okay when Boogie does it, because it's just okay that Boogie does it. I can't believe we actually went around that. It's like, oh, if anyone else calls me out for it, it's because they're bad people who probably do it themselves. But when I do it, it's good because I'm a good person. Fantastic.
People from doing this, because I know for a fact it ruins your fucking life. Look at my life. How'd my life turn out? Somebody didn't diddle me, it might not be half as fucking bad, right?
You don't think so?
I think it could have been a little bit better.
Did you get diddled? I thought he walked entirely back. He claimed he'd never been diddled. Like, he never been raped. Like, he claimed that. He walked that whole thing back, and now he's claiming he has been again. Fucking fantastic. Jesus, we're 6 minutes in since the game starts, but we're 6 minutes into the podcast. We already have had Boogie like talking about just trying to survive day by day. Boogie talking about being molested and pedophiles.
I think it definitely could have been, right?
Yeah, it would have easily erased a double cheeseburger off your menu every night.
At least a double cheeseburger, right?
We're like the opposite of
there's
Boogie's fake laugh is really bad.
Truth, especially in the feminism world, where we go back and look at it, there's a lot of men that were hiding in plain sight. And I mean, there are court documents that proved that they abused women, but they were out there marching on the lines, wearing the little flags and do what?
Okay.
Do you remember Russian Deadpool? He was like, he was one of the SJWs back then.
I don't really care about Gamergate, SJW kind of shit. But I just, like I said, that's what Boogie did. This is literally Boogie. He is describing himself, that he tried really hard for the male feminism thing, which he keeps doing over and over again. When he gets called out for racism, he's like, I marched with Black Lives Matter and I marched for gay marriage. All that kind of shit. And he is sitting there using this like, oh, yep, these people criticizing me. I bet they're secretly the bad ones, definitely not me, the person who's being criticized, and there's evidence of what they're saying about me. No, it must be them, who there is no evidence of, because there was a Twitter feminist who was weird. It's like, wow, Boogie, fucking great. Okay, if they're just going to start about SAW shit, I'm just going to skip. I find that boring.
What was the name of the guy that like broke down and cried because he watched like fake AI porn of like one of the streamers that was his friend?
Oh,
what? Like that's if you got a death pool or like an assault pool, put his name on it. He's going to beat a woman to death at some point.
Who was it? Yeah, that ruined his career. He had a bunch of.
I was just going to jump in for that quickly because I remember that happening because it was just pathetic and cringe. I thought the whole thing in general was pathetic and cringe and just like really lame internet drama. But I find that really weird opinion from Wings. It's like, well, this guy watched porn like AI porn of his female friends, which is very weird, yes. But it's like, I bet he'll beat his girlfriend to death. It's like, Jesus, what the fuck? Jesus, that escalated very fucking quickly. Like, I like, remember, this is Wings. This is Wings, the guy who routinely talks. Well, he doesn't really anymore because he's like less with LolCow than he used to. But used to routinely talk about murdering people because they beat him in a video game. If he ever got a traffic stop by a cop, he always knows where his gun is in case he needs to kill the cop. Shit like that. This is stuff Wings has said. You know, it's why I say, despite Wings coming across good recently, back in the past, I always used to describe him as the one I think is the most detestable bad person out of the three of them. But now we have him going, well, this guy, he watched porn of his friend. Bet he'll kill a woman at some point. It's like, Jesus, fuck Wings, what the shit?
But yeah, AI porn, which is funny to me. I really love how like these horrible children, these money grubbing pigs on Twitch try to act so like they're I'm so sorry, I looked at porn. Everybody looks at porn. But you just, they're always like feminists.
Yeah, but no, but it was too far. Was the reason why he did that was because he looked at porn of his friends, like people he streams with and stuff like that. Like that makes sense, Like I've always said, despite Bookie coming and being, I have autism every 3 seconds, I am convinced out of the three of them, Tommy is the one with autism because he is so fucking weird when it comes to talking about how people interact with each other. Like when he said Charlie, he doesn't understand Charlie at all because Charlie says he thinks you're a bad person and that it's really sad to see you being like this. And it's just like, yeah, that literally makes perfect sense. That's how humans can feel about things. But Tommy just didn't click. Tommy now thinks it's just like, that whole thing was just because some guy was caught watching porn and not that it was porn of his friends.
On his wife's farts and jars.
And then it turns out they're just as fucked up as Wings of Redemption. Or probably even more.
Let's use EDP as the standard because EDP is way more than I am. Because like, how do you get caught again?
Yeah,
I know the
caught
answer to
again
this
thing.
question, and I think
pedophilia. That's usually the
pedophilia.
It's pretty
for a lot of these
speciality.
guys, it's a level of compulsion. And so there's this. I used to watch How to Catch a Predator because that show entertained the shit out of me to watch these sick fucks get busted. Made me so happy.
Made me so happy. These sick fucks. Biggie, I'm going to remind you of your conversation a second ago where you made a point about people who really go hard at something and really try and virtue signal something. They might actually be what they're virtue signaling against. I'm gonna say that. The fact that you really hammered in that point there, Biggie. Just saying. I'm not drawing a comparison. I'm just saying this is why that argument is fucking stupid because instantly Boogie says something that means that an argument can be turned back against him.
And there's one guy on How to Catch a Predator. You can look up this episode.
He got caught
about the guy who says mom's going to take his computer away?
Yeah, they're not talking about him. They're talking about the guy who showed up and got arrested. And then right after he left, he got caught, like, I think the next episode again because he instantly went back. And if he's going to argue like a compulsion thing, I wonder if this is for Boogie to set up why it's okay for him to date like 19-year-olds. Because Boogie has tried to use this argument for the sugar babies, sex workers, prostitutes, hookers, whatever he's claiming they are at this very second. That shit, he claimed that it was a compulsive behavior thing, so he pretty much can't be blamed. It's the same as his food addiction. He basically can't be blamed for it because it was compulsive behavior. Which, like I said, if you're going to argue this point, when you're using it as a defense for your behaviors that are negative, now you're trying to use it as a defense against, an argument against these guys. It doesn't come across looking great to me.
From him? Did you see something in him?
This dude went to the house and got arrested. Okay, then they let him out. Then he went right back to the same chat room and got busted again and met them at like a Taco Bell or a Subway or something. Like 48 hours after he just got arrested, right?
Twice in a week?
Yeah, like twice, like in a 48-hour turnaround, right? And so like that led me to understand that for some of these guys, it's a disgusting compulsion, which is why I continue to say
it's a disgusting compulsion. like I said, when you go at when your argument is people who go at something repeatedly, it implies that they're it. This is why Boogie should not use that argument because he is now falling straight into that trap where if someone wanted to use it against him, they easily could.
Like pedophiles need dirt naps, like actual pedophiles, like people out there abusing actual
children. Here's
like
what
put them in the ground. Put them in the ground.
We're ignoring a fact.
This is exactly. Medicare was literally talking about how he'd happily put them all up against the wall and shoot them, but they use that against Medicare because Medicare calls out them. And it's just like, oh, well, he must have skeletons in his closet because he's like Boogie literally just said exactly. See, this is why this argument is so stupid, and it is pure cope. And if you're the type of person who makes that argument, okay, if you're the type of person who makes that argument that, okay, well, the Medicare called out pedophiles constantly, so it must mean that he is one that they were kind of hinting at there, but they're too pussy to actually fucking, like, actually commit and go for it, you just did the same thing. And now that you are doing the same thing, and you believe if you call people out like that in public, it's because of that reason. If you're now calling them out in public, it is easier to now connect you that you are projecting because you're self-conscious about your own feelings.
Here, but like the fact that he got caught for a third time, right? After the second time, it was the second time he lost his YouTube channel, he lost his, Instagram, he lost anything he actually had. He lost everything, right? So for him to get caught again has to tell me that what he's doing has led to success at some point. So there's,
I get
you know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't continue to do this, especially with like
the all failures. I get that.
Unless you've gotten success at some point with
I get that, yeah.
So he's been, what you're saying, Wings, is he's been fishing so long that he must have pulled a trout out every so often.
Yeah.
And only has been caught twice out of like 1,000.
Correct.
Okay.
Like 100%.
That's crazy.
I agree. Thanks, Boogie. That's heartbreaking. Okay, Boogie, calm down. I don't know. You're flying that flag a little high there, Boogie. You must have some skeletons in your closet or something like that, based on your own argument. Yeah, I can agree with Wings' assessment that if you've failed over and over and over again, you've got nothing but massive negative publicity about it. So much so that you'd probably be scared of doing it because people would be looking out for you now because you're now infamous online. There must have been some success at some point to drive you to keep going. And as Boogie says, that's heartbreaking,
man.
It is a heartbreaking thing.
And like, and you go back and you look at like so many YouTubers like in the Minecraft sphere, so many of them got caught, so many of them were like actual pieces of shit. Basher, looking back on Basher, man, a lot of shit that guy did was absolutely not right. I don't know about the accusations. I don't know how all that played out, but some of the stuff he was doing, he had a Minecraft channel. Like, I hate to speak dead.
This is like I said, this is my biggest problem with Boogie when Boogie tries to get on his high horse is because he has been accused of like so much. And his entire argument is, nah, bro, nah. That's literally impossible. Like, literally, it is impossible that I could do anything like that. I'm actually an amazing person. I'm basically in like, probably the top 2 people who ever exists. Yeah, probably that. Probably me and like Gandhi. Probably those. Yeah, probably me and maybe. Actually, probably I'm number 1. I'm probably number 1. Gandhi's maybe close. Well, no, he's not really that close to me. Actually, he's like. I'm probably like ranked 1, 2, 3, and 4, maybe 5 as well. I'm probably the top 5 best people who've ever existed. It's so fucking weird when Boogie has done so much shit, and anytime anyone gets an accusation against him, Boogie is all over that. I remember Boy in a Band had a mega thread accusation done against him on Reddit, and Boogie shared it and was sitting talking about how like disgusting Boy in a Band was. And it's like, Boogie, I can't believe that you're unironically sharing a mega thread accusing someone of something that is just accusations at the moment and talking about like, oh my god, he is such a bad person, look at all this evidence on this mega thread, when Boogie literally had the same thing done against him and was just like, oh my god, these people are psycho obsessive, this isn't even real, like the mega thread is all lies. Well, I guess it's not really lies, some of it's real. Well, I guess a lot of it's real, but it doesn't matter because it's not actually that big a deal. That kind of shit.
Basher can't sue you. Come on, let him have it.
I hate to speak ill of the dead, but I know people are going to shit on my grave, so I'm down with it. But Basher, like, he had a Minecraft.
I love that Boogie's trying to pretend so hard that he's like, well, I don't want to speak ill of the dead. I'm just too nice a person for that. Boogie speaks ill of the living. Boogie speaks ill of everyone, including if there was just like a kind of allegation. He doesn't give a fuck.
Channel, and he started uploading touch my girlfriend challenges with like Clara baby legs on his Minecraft channel after like fostering an audience of children. Now you got a bikini class.
You fostered an audience of children and the suicide baited them repeatedly. You put out incredibly terrible information. You manipulate them. You manipulate them to give you money. You manipulate them to like just give you any form of attention. You use your mental health. Like, I'm sorry, it's so weird that Boogie's like, well, this Minecrafter did a touch my girlfriend challenge. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's probably not the worst thing he's ever done. I'm pretty fucking sure. Like, when you have Wings, who's like suicide baited, and you have Boogie, who's like heavily suicide baited, like, I'm just gonna say, touch my girlfriend challenge, pretty low on the list of fucked up shit.
Woman, and you're like rubbing all up on her, and that's what's
that
like Minecraft? What is going on?
She was barely of age, I think.
No, I don't think she's barely of age because I remember him specifically boasting.
Boogie immediately takes a stress drink because they're now talking about barely of age girls and how that's weird again. I don't know the guy. I'm pretty sure she was 16 and like he was overage and that was his girlfriend. Like I'm pretty sure he probably would have got like shredded. It wouldn't be an accusation of that guy being a pedo. I'm pretty sure that people would have confirmed he was one, I guess. But who knows?
About having backdoor playtime with her when she was underage.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get myself canceled
He
again,
did
but I have.
get
Oh my
her in the
god,
end,
cringe.
according
Shut
to
up,
him, on Drama Alert. I mean, you might be onto something.
I mean, I hate to get myself canceled 2 episodes in a row.
Oh my god.
Okay, but I have an opinion. When people are out there accusing
2 episodes in a row, so this is the second episode then. This isn't the lost episode. So they okay. I don't even know.
random people for being a pedophile, right? Like I'm in an adult relationship. You're accusing me of being a right? You are weakening that word. You are destroying that
Oh
word.
my god.
You're applying it to things that it's not applicable in. And that's how predators hide in plain sight. Because I'm getting called a predator, getting called a pedophile should be reserved for pedophiles. So
Boogie accused me of being a racist, homophobe, MAGA Republican, somehow, despite me not being American, QAnon conspiracy theorist. Boogie accused me of being each of those things. Literally just out of nowhere because I made videos of him. That was literally Boogie made that argument against me because I made videos about him. I've never been homophobic. I've never been racist in any of my fucking videos. But no, apparently me making videos on him, a white guy, means I'm a straight. He claims he's straight. He's claimed previously he's bi, but he keeps changing it because he keeps forgetting his story about where he said he gave a guy a hand job in high school. He forgot about that story, so now he claims he doesn't know what being bisexual is and he's always been straight. That kind of shit. He claimed that me insulting a straight white guy somehow makes me racist, homophobic, MAGA Republican, QAnon conspiracy theorist, even though I don't talk about politics in any way. I'm sorry. Boogie coming, no, I'm calling me a pedophile. That takes away from the word. It's like, bro, you're the king of that. Shut up. You literally did the racist, the rapists and Nazis thing, so stop it.
that we can find them and single them out. That's how these mother
What you're
hide
saying
in plain
is
sight because
all your haters are pro. Is that what you're saying?
no, I'm
Boogie?
just saying.
He-
like
he-
I get, I
he
get,
pretty
I
much is.
understand.
He's saying that
why
they're
they're
turning
creeped
that
out by
word
the
into
relationship.
what they
I
did with cut.
understand. I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I ain't breaking no
Oh my
laws. I ain't
God.
no children. I ain't no EDP, dude.
You
So
sure?
like when you're accused,
I'm not EDP. If that is like the only argument you have about why your relationship isn't weird, you need a new argument.
accusing me of that, you're weakening that word.
Well, you know what?
Reserve it for the actual and go for an actual. Like, why are you obsessed with me when EDP is out there banging kids?
Oh my god,
I don't get it.
I can't
I
believe
what
this.
the fuck am I doing?
If you take the amount of time,
Well, you're okay. Well, you met a girl when she was 18, it seems, based on your own fucking evidence, and you then apparently got into a sexual relationship because going up and meeting her last year when she was at least 19, what you described as a booty call. Like I don't even know. I think age of consent in Arkansas is like 16 or anything like that anyway. So it still wouldn't even make it like pedophilia even at that point. But it's because your relationship is so weird that you often lie about it, that you claim that you bonded with her because she is heavily traumatized, so much so that she needs to be constantly high. Most people, I think, don't even think it's a real relationship. Most people, I think it's a financial relationship, similar to Lucy Fox or Grave Girl or something along those lines. So I don't think your argument is actually real, but people are shitting on you because you're weird and you come across as weird. That's it. Do people call him a pedophile? Yes. Are people using an evidence of him potentially getting with like a girl when she's like 19 or maybe 18 as him being a pedophile? Yes. But is that stupid? Yes, of course it is stupid, because that is taking away from the word. But Boogie likes to narrow down the entire argument of all of his haters to like the 3 guys who call him that, to like the couple of people who are arguing that about him. A lot of people call him a pedophile in regards to it because of the Keemstar and Brantley leaks. It's strange that he's on Keemstar's show right now having this argument. A lot of people say that because Boogie claimed that he'd been with this girl for like 6-7 months, and it was claimed that she was like 18 in those leaks, which implied that she was under 18 when they met, because he had said her birthday was in like March or something like that. So at that time, it implied that she had been under 18 when they met. That's where a lot of the rumor came from. It came from the guy whose show you are currently on, because you will do anything for attention.
that like whenever I think what did EDP get busted 2 years ago? I think it's been about 2 years, right?
Yeah,
2-3 years. So if you would have been with your girlfriend 2-3 years ago, Boogie, you'd be in jail right now. You know?
No, she'd be 18.
No, she'd be 18. She'd be 18. Well,
that's screwing my jokes.
You know, somebody said to me, oh, no, listen, Tom, you know what somebody said to me? Somebody said, when you turned 21, how old was your girlfriend? And I said, well, she wasn't born yet. And then somebody said, well, how old was she 10 years ago? And I'm like, well, she was 10, but I wasn't dating her then, so I don't give it. Right? Like if I was pulling up to the preschool, loading her up in my car, I get why you'd be mad.
He's used this argument a few times, and it is like really weird because it's okay. Like people aren't saying, "Oh well, 10 years ago, I bet you would sleep with your girlfriend." People aren't saying that. People are saying, "Do you not find it weird that you're dating a girl who 10 years ago was 10 years old?" Because you are when you were 10 years old, 10 years ago, you were like 40 years old. Do you not find that in any way weird? That is the point they're raising. They're not saying, oh, would you have fucked her 10 years? They're not. No one is saying that. He keeps doing it because this is his way of deflecting to try and be, oh, this is what my trolls think. My trolls are saying I would have slept with her when she was 10. It's like, it's not what people say when they mean, that's not what people mean when they say that, bro.
I waited until she turned 20.
You waited until she got to high school.
I waited until she turned 20. Well, that's a fucking Freudian slip and does not sound very good at all. It's like, yeah, it kind of sounds suspicious, especially when we know you didn't.
Adult, man, for God's sake, she can look. I have an opinion, and this is a gross ass opinion, but I get it. Okay, if you can take a bullet for Uncle Sam, then you can take a load from the man of your choice. I give all.
That is so creepy. That is so creepy. Like, remember, this is the guy who was like arguing with the most critical depiction that he doesn't like have a high respect for women. Like, this is the guy who's like, when he was talking previously about how he's like, because he, super feminist, despite everything he said this time, he was doing his whole, like, I'm a super feminist, like, rant on Twitch one time, and he randomly made the point that he totally supports, like, people having equal rights, that he thinks gay people should get married, and he thinks dudes should put on dresses, his words, and he says, and women should be able to open OnlyFans and wear Daisy Dukes, because in his head, like, equality for women is like being able to make porn and wear revealing outfits for him. That is his idea of women. Like, because Boogie, I'm sorry, I'm fully on board, and I've been on board for fucking ages with the argument that Boogie just hates women. Boogie sees women as like trophies, as items, as like toys, playthings. When he talks about Dez, he repeatedly would talk about how like Dez pretty much stole half of his money. Because, it's like, oh, that's what the court system is like in America. She took half of my money. Even though she had 2 jobs at one point supporting him when he was trying to start YouTube. And then she quit those 2 jobs once they started making a little bit of money so she could be his full-time nurse whilst also recording the videos for him, whilst also writing the videos for him. And then at the end of it, he's like, she didn't deserve any of my money. That's actually like Boogie's fucking thought process. Not the fact that this woman was his living maid for 7 full years and at times she was the only one earning money.
The agency to the adults out there, you can sign up for the Army and get shot in the head.
Fucking wings his face.
Middle Eastern
wings his fucking face. Holy shit!
Or a Russian. If you have the right to do that,
get shot by a Middle Eastern motherfucker. What the fuck? Weird.
You have the right to choose the man you are with. Stop taking agency away from women.
This ain't going to my channel.
I love that Boogie's argument is the feminist argument. Boogie's like, despite everything he said already in this video, Boogie's like, you're taking agency away from women. I'm a feminist. I believe women should have, like, bro. Calm your fucking tits. People think it's weird. That's it. They think you're weird. You said earlier on that you are weird. And it's not just the age thing. Because he cries, why don't people treat Leonardo DiCaprio like this? It's like, oh, he's a multi-millionaire, considered a sex icon. When he was younger, probably still is. He's an Oscar winner. He's a UNESCO ambassador, United Nations ambassador, everything like that. And Boogie's like a fat, ugly guy who, even if he lost all the weight, would probably still be a 4 out of 10. Who is claiming he's bankrupt and about to lose his house. And he is dating someone with a much larger age gap than even Leonardo DiCaprio's biggest age gap. He is dating a bigger age gap than Leonardo DiCaprio's age gap. Like that. That's why. Leonardo DiCaprio was currently dating like a 27-year-old. He started dating a girl when she was like 19, apparently.
I want to hear that. I just want to hear it. Like the first to fight for the right and to fill it. I'm feeling very patriotic with that.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I'm feeling good. Yeah.
I said it when Keemstar started dating Brantley, and I say it now. Stop influencing these women. And you know what else?
No, actually, you didn't. You actually criticized Keemstar for dating Brantley when she was young. You actually did. Because people called you out for that.
What's messed up about it? If she started an OnlyFans, no one would have gave a shit. But the day she turned 18, if she created an OnlyFans, they would have signed up.
A lot of people probably would have given us it. A lot of people think that is weird. Like, Boogie is the one talking about how great it was. That Bad Baby or something like that. I think she's the Cash Me Outside girl. Like, whoever the fuck that was. Apparently on her 18th birthday, she opened an OnlyFans. And Boogie was talking about how awesome that was. Like, this is Boogie's opinion. He just thinks everyone has his opinion because this is Boogie's opinion. That it's totally cool for, like, 18-year-olds, like, who, like, the second they turn 18, like, immediately open OnlyFans. Boogie's the one who thinks that's cool. He just thinks everyone else thinks that's cool. A lot of people, I think, probably think that's weird. And they think it's weird if a 50-year-old is sitting there watching me like, yeah, it's the 18-year-old girl, yeah.
A lot of these people, okay?
Yeah.
But the reality of it is, they're just mad she's with me.
Can I meet her?
No, they aren't.
Would you introduce her to me?
I mean, she's busy right now, but yeah, at some
No,
point.
not the second. Not the second.
Yeah, you can, like,
She's busy. Why is she busy right now? She doesn't do anything. She doesn't even work. She can't leave the house without you. These are Boogie's claims that she can't even, like, go to Walmart by herself because apparently she is, like, so traumatized she can't go to Walmart by herself. So what the fuck is she busy with?
I'd be both on my show, or maybe she can come in here one time. I think I want to meet her. I have questions.
Oh, you have questions?
Questions.
Well, if you really want to know, Tommy, it's a micro.
Well, I'll tell you. No,
Oh,
that's
funny.
the next thing. I figured that.
See, this is a sound manipulation method that Boogie uses. It is to, like, shit on himself, to make a joke about himself, to diffuse the situation. Like, a lot of people do it. It's use self-deprecating humor to, like, diffuse a situation or try and distract. Because, obviously, Tommy's like, oh, I want to speak to your girlfriend. I want to speak to your girlfriend. Boogie does not want that. So, immediately, his first thing is to start joking about him having a small penis. That is... also, by the way, I remember Boogie, like, did a live stream where his brother called in and he just sat there talking repeatedly about how big his dick is, how big his brother's dick is, and how big his dad's dick is. That was like 5 minutes of the live stream.
I've been on that a long time ago.
I have a question, legit, like with the EDP situation. Like, how does he never get?
I'm just gonna say I'm probably gonna start skipping if we're just gonna recount this point again. I can't believe we've spent like a solid like fucking I don't know like 10, at least 10, maybe 15 minutes talking about underage relationships, and we're just repeating points.
I mean, at the end of the day, having gone through the legal system a little bit, I can tell you, number one, it's not a fair system. Number two, it's slow. It's so slow.
I hate the fact that you can't point a gun at somebody and like it can like get you in all sorts of trouble.
The fact is, he's pointed a gun at somebody and got more ramifications than EDP out here preying on fucking 50-year-olds.
Yeah, but okay, see, I'm going to jump in. Pretty much they're just talking about how they don't know how EDP's been arrested and they complain about justice system and cops and all. Okay, so Boogie saying it's not fair. Like, I'm sorry, Boogie probably should have been in jail for what he did. Boogie challenged the guy to come to his house. The guy showed up unarmed. Boogie came out, approached the guy, pointed a loaded gun at his fucking head, and then shot it in the air, like, towards a fucking church 300 meters away from a fucking school. You know? That's what Boogie did. And Boogie's like, ooh, I'm such a victim. Things are so unfair. And it's like, oh, and you got punished more than EDP. It's like, yeah, because internet stings are generally bullshit. Because like EDP could just say, he could have microwaved his fucking phone. Because they let him go home. He could have just gone home and microwaved his fucking phone, blown up his fucking hard drive, and then be like, I never sent those messages. What are you talking about? It's when he was like, WhatsApp, where it's end-to-end encryption, something like that. He's like, I never sent those messages. These people are framing me. That's it. The video of the guy confronting him about the cupcakes thing, when he has a line like cupcakes, he can say, I thought the whole thing was a skit. That's why I was making the cupcake joke. That's why, you fucking idiots. When you're sitting going like, oh, cops don't know the law. It's so crazy that Boogie got punished more than EDP did. It's like, bro, it's because you guys don't know the law either. It's so weird. You guys don't, you don't know anything. So it's really weird for them to just keep talking about this. The only reason I jumped in was because Boogie obviously was crying that the law's unfair because he got slightly punished. And after 2 years, apparently he's being stripped from his record. That is Boogie. Oh, that's so unfair on me. 2 years, and then it's off his record for good.
Don't comment on anything I'm about to say.
Okay, all right.
I think it would have been awesome if you blew his brains out. That would have surprised everybody. Ooh. Don't say anything. Don't get in trouble. No.
Boogie's already said himself repeatedly that he wished he had, and he thinks he would not have gotten in trouble if he had. People keep saying that, but it's like, no, he would have, because he would have then have shot an unarmed man who was standing a distance away from him, who was not approaching him or anything like that. Like, yeah, Boogie would have gotten in trouble for that. He would have gotten more trouble than if he'd fired the warning shot. He would have actually gotten more trouble for that. That is as simple as that. Because all you have to do is show that Boogie challenged the guy. He shot someone that with a gun that was not his. He left the safety of his house. He did not call police. He approached the guy and then shot him in the fucking face. Boogie would have gotten more trouble for that.
I could say something. You
that
probably would have gotten
happened,
less
I would be like,
trouble.
He asked
He
for it,
wouldn't
you know, sort of like Nicole Brown Simpson.
No.
You can't take warning shots because if you take a warning shot, you're not fearing for your life.
I've had cops tell me that
No, you
I would have been
haven't.
in less trouble had I pulled the trigger while it was pointed at him.
No, you wouldn't have, Boogie. I'm sorry. No, you haven't. Boogie with all of his friends. My FBI friend told me this, and then my police friends told me this, and then my Facebook specialist friend told me this, and then my YouTube manager friend told me this. It's like, okay, bro, it's weird that they all just agree with you. It's so weird that every one of your friends just agrees with you, and you're always right about everything. It's so weird, Boogie.
Being the adult in the room, why didn't you just call the cops?
We did. Yeah, like, I mean, obviously, I'm sure Kiwi Farms and all those people pulled the 911 records and the 911 calls. We called them the night before. We had a conversation with a cop on the front door.
I'm sure. Well, Boogie probably spends more time in Kiwi Farms than I do. I don't think I've ever seen, but I have no idea. I wasn't really interested in them back then, so I have no idea if they did or not. But I have no idea. There are 911 calls about Boogie for wellness checks and all on YouTube. I have never seen a 911 call for that kind of stuff. Also, it'd be weird if Boogie called 911. Isn't that the emergency number? Isn't there a non-emergency number you should be calling? Boogie called the night before. It's some guy called me a bitch. Some guy called me a bitch, and I challenged him to come to my house to murder him. So 911, please.
Told him this was about to go down. Asked him if they could provide extra security in the neighborhood in case it did, because we thought it was going to happen that night.
Boogie had asked originally for police to be stationed outside his house. That's what Boogie claimed previously.
Ended up happening the next day. The next day, my roommate went and got the weapon. He handed it to me. I said, call 911. He called 911.
Yeah, but as soon as he started beating on your door, you could just call the cops right then. And
yeah.
You're like, somebody's actively trying to get into my house.
If I'm being genuine with you.
Okay, anytime Boogie says, if I'm being genuine with you, he's about to lie.
Genuine with you. I will tell you 3 truthful things about it, okay? Number 1, I knew that the internet was going to see this. And I knew that if I never...
Well, yeah, because the first thing you did was release the Ring doorbell footage to Keemstar. That's the first thing you did. So, yes, you did know.
Never answered the door and what all of this shit. And this is one of the things that got me in trouble.
So your pride got with you.
Right, yeah. I'm the son of a coal miner. This is not the kind of shit that we put up with, okay?
I love he's trying to be I'm a rough and tough southerner, I'm a son of a coal miner. I don't put up with this. Okay. Boogie's the biggest pussy in the entire world. Remember, Boogie's talking to Wings of Redemption, who knocked the shite out of him in a boxing ring. And Boogie is I don't put up with none of this shit. Okay, sir.
Right.
You're saying right now here in the LolCow Pod, you didn't want to look like a big fat pussy.
Yeah, I wanted to fucking stand up for myself for the first time in my goddamn life. That's what I wanted to
God. He's made that claim as well many times.
I mean, I gotta be honest with you.
I thought punching somebody is illegal. I didn't think scaring them off your property is illegal. We would do shit like that back in Southwest Virginia. A fire gets shot fucking just because you felt like it. You go out here.
No, you didn't, Boogie. Stop it. Boogie claimed that he had never had held a gun ever since the Boy Scouts, because they were doing shooting training in the Boy Scouts, and they give him a shotgun and then tell him how bad the recoil was going to be when he was 10, and it scared him, and he never touched the gun again. That's Boogie's claim. Now Boogie's oh shit, we just do that all the time. I just pull up my gun and I shoot that in the air. Okay, Boogie, sure, bro.
Your front yard, pull your trigger because it's fun. Right?
I don't know. With you, if you
but you live in the city limits now, though.
And it would have been tragic if you shot him, but it would have almost been fitting. I bet you imagine the look in his face. If I can't believe Boogie just shot me.
He had Twin Towers on his back, right?
He would have died in prison, and he would have died, and everybody would have been well, he asked for it. That's what would have happened, but you would have lost all your freedom. And,
right.
And
it's literally a second ago they're arguing who got less trouble if you just shot him, and now they're sitting talking about how you probably would have been in life imprisonment. Can you guys fucking pick one? Jesus Christ.
He would have kept me in drama for a good week.
Right.
Who knows? If Boogie had done that back then, maybe I would have got into covering Boogie back then. maybe I would have kicked up a video just to talk about that situation of Boogie around me just shot Frank Castle in the face.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to have to hurt nobody. I'm glad I didn't have to.
Sure.
Does he have Twin Towers on his back?
I don't know. The guy's I'll be honest with you. I don't mean to I don't want to break my parole or nothing like that.
Oh my God,
I would just say that the guy likes to be controversial.
Well, that's what you claim. Did you like to be controversial? If Boogie's going to go see, he called me the N-word and the F-sir, and he was wearing a t-shirt that had 9/11 on it. If Boogie's going to do that, I'm going to draw attention to the documentary where he was talking about how he likes saying the N-word, and it's no issue with saying it. However, he's also such a good boy that he would never say it anywhere that anyone might potentially hear it, because he has to try and both be edgy but also not be edgy at the same time. But he went on and was talking about being pegged. Boogie likes to be controversial. Boogie has always liked to be controversial. Do you know why? Because controversial people get attention, and Boogie's entire life is about getting attention.
That is his brand. He likes to do
Well,
bad
that's how he
things
makes money.
to entertain bad people.
He had no idea. The thing that got me is like he had no. You weren't the stabilist at the time. I have some inside information that.
Oh yeah,
you
I was
a hard time with it.
I was fucking gone, man.
Yeah, you're pretty gone.
Sure.
Like he has.
There's nothing I like more than Boogie's just entire life is about making excuses for everything, and it's like, well, you can't hold me accountable because I had the big mentals.
Well, I'm going to tell this to Frank right now. This is something I know that nobody else does. All right, you were pretty close to, like, if he had done the right thing, I think it would have been really tragic. I think he took a look at you and said, this guy's not doing it, and I'm going to gamble. And I have to say, it was absolutely the wrong time to do it, because I don't even think you knew what you were doing.
No, absolutely. You go back and listen to that podcast with Keemstar. I listen to that. I have no clue who's talking. That ain't me.
No,
You talk
I do. It was Boogie. Boogie has shown repeatedly that he is this type of person over and over and over again. This is not. I'm so stunned. Boogie is this type of person. But Boogie is this type of person. Boogie doesn't like him saying like the one truth I'll tell you is, well, my pride, guys. It's like, yeah, you are a very prideful person. You are. You're an aggressive person. You're a rude person. You're a manipulative person. You're everything like that. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that he would have like threatened to shoot someone, and that he may have potentially done it if he thought he would get away with it. I think he probably would have done it. He is that type of person. When I say I think when Boogie looks at women, he doesn't see them as like people. I think Boogie's probably like that with a lot of people. Boogie, when he looks at you, he does not see you as a person. He sees you as like a monetary donation you can make to him, or like a level of clout that he can get. If you're below him, then you must be worshipping him. Because even with me, he said that I am doing videos to get his attention. That is Boogie's thought process for people criticizing. They're doing it because they want his attention, because they just love him so much, or some bullshit like that. Or if you're like higher in the clout level than him, he will do anything for your attention so he can try and like steal a bit of that clout. That is how Boogie just views the world. It is like clout and money.
Friends of mine and stuff like that, and they were really, because I got calls that whole weekend. People were really worried about. I mean, I'm glad you didn't shoot him, but you would have definitely asked for it had you done it. That's my opinion, not Boogie's. Judge Hillbilly.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, to any prosecutors out there listening, I'm glad nobody got hurt. I'm glad I didn't have to hurt nobody. I'm glad that he left my property, and I'm glad that
Were you glad he left his property? Because you called him a pussy for leaving your property and kept shouting after him that he's a pussy for walking away. Like, I'm just saying, but remember, this is Boogie who both is claiming that it's like, I had no idea what I was doing, guys. I don't even know. I was so disassociated. Boogie, like 2 weeks ago, was claiming that he specifically aimed his gun in that direction to fire away from the school and towards a wooded area to make sure this is Boogie, who was charting artillery trajectories and shit like that. But also at the same time is claiming that he was so like mentally gone he didn't even know what was happening anymore.
But at the end of the day, I'm also glad that I stood up for myself for the first time in my fucking life.
He said this so many times.
That's kind of a.
He didn't stand up for himself. He looked like a pussy.
Property. Did you guys see the Cyrex got arrested?
I'm not really interested in Cyrex. I'm probably going to skip it. The standing up for himself and the first time, it is like so cringe, because like, bro, you like went out and you pointed a gun at some guy's head. That's really embarrassing.
Cyrex. Why do I know that name?
It's a LolCow.
Is he?
Yeah.
Let me Google Cyrex.
Cyrex. Yeah, who's Cyrex?
I don't keep track of the rest of my herd.
He's the goblin of the internet.
What does he do, Cyrex? Is that the guy that's like barely he can barely speak? He's so retarded.
It's hard to talk about if you guys don't know who he is. But
Chance Wilkins is his name, apparently. He's got a wiki.
Cyrex. That's the guy in Mortal Kombat.
Well, he's a yellow robot in Mortal Kombat, but not this guy.
Oh, I don't know this guy.
He's an infamous online LolCow who has gained both notoriety and infamy for his freakouts and escapades. And hopefully we can throw a picture of him up here, because he definitely has a fairly unique look. What did he get arrested for, Jordy?
Somebody came out from his house and called him the P word, and basically held a sign, because like he lives in a house that is in the city that has like a public sidewalk, which is like an easement, and he stood out on the public sidewalk holding a sign calling him a. So he didn't like this, so he decided to come out and confront the man, and
hit him?
No, he hit him with a baseball bat.
Oh,
but the dude's like 5'0". He literally got the baseball bat took from him. And he ran back inside, and then he got called the cops on him, and he got arrested for felony assault.
Okay. Well, see, it doesn't. That's you know what it tells me. The haters are right about you guys. You guys keep going to jail. And
looking at this guy. looking at this guy, let me go ahead and say,
I'm just kind of curious where this is kind of going. That's why I'm sorry I'm kind of sitting there silently. Usually I try and talk more, but I'm just sitting here waiting to see where we're going with this, because I don't know if they know this story is going the way they want it to be going, because Cyrax was entirely in the wrong there. Like, entirely in the wrong there. Boogie did worse than Cyrax. So, like, I'm waiting to see where they try and go with this, especially when a second ago they were going after EDP because of the accusations against him, but the exact same accusations have been done against fucking Cyrax. Also, Boogie just more than happy just to say his full name there. I don't know if he ever put out his full name. You could be doxing him, Boogie. That's so fucking mean of you. How dare you?
These guys, you ever notice that everybody in the LolCow herds pretty much are just ugly? Like, it's just like high school continues for people like me and him. It's because I ain't good looking, right? Like, if I didn't look like I've been hit with a ugly stick, I think, or like this guy, I don't know that there's anything wrong with him other than the fact that he's just nasty.
Oh, no.
Maybe don't talk on things you don't know anything about Boogie, but I can't believe, like, this is just Boogie's Boogie thing, where he's like, I'm only considered a LolCow because I'm ugly. It's like, yes, if you're not anything else you do, bro. See, the LolCow is like very specific. Like, there are lots of people who are troll, like Hassan. People consider Hassan a LolCow, and Hassan's like a good enough looking guy. Like, people consider him a LolCow. So, like, I don't really know. I'm sure people consider, like, the Nerdrotic guy a LolCow, and he's, like, a good enough looking guy as well. Like, there are plenty of, like, Tommy C is apparently a LolCow on this show, and he's, like, an okay looking guy. He's not ugly, you know?
No, there's something wrong. He's way on the spectrum. He's like a functioning autistic.
Yeah.
Well, that ain't giving me, like, that's not a good reason to beat up on somebody because they happen to be autistic and ugly.
Did they beat up on him?
Well, I'm just saying, like
he's the one that
I don't
beat
think
them
he really
up.
understands the whole grasp of everything he does, because like he puts his whole life out there, which I do that.
I mean, me too. Yeah.
But
I think
like,
that's what makes a good LolCow is lack of.
Yes, imagine, Boogie. Yeah, it is. People who put out all their life on attention because they're generally all like narcissistic, who think that they're all like really interesting and really unique. Yeah, imagine they probably do make good LolCows. Sorry guys, busy boy. Everyone's phoning me suddenly.
like a bunch of like Mortal Kombat systems.
Known as the games attorney says, known as Goblin of Archon.
Akron. That word's Akron, Ohio.
Let's talk about DSP. I heard he now.
Okay, so we're now going to talk about DSP. I know the next episode is like entirely about DSP. So, okay, sweet. I'm kind of disappointed because this hasn't been great, because I talked really highly about the second episode. How it was gold. It was gold. It was so good. The first episode was a bit weak, and I thought this was the first episode, because it's not been great so far. I have to admit, I'm kind of like, I'm trying to be excited for it because, you know, why not? We didn't get anything like this before, but like the more I've seen this, the more there's just kind of like Boogie, and mainly Boogie, just sitting there like dominating conversations, saying his own narrative over and over and over again. And them kind of having uninformed opinions on things, but like not really ever going in depth enough that it's funny or interesting, except like Wings Rami saying that guy who watched AI porn of his friends is going to kill women one day.
He's pretending the thing isn't, like, he's saying this thing was never going to happen. It was never get going.
That's clearly happening.
Like it's happening. I don't ever want him to be on the show. I'm just saying.
I would like to have him on here just to dunk on his ass.
Unpaid guest. That's what I want.
Okay. This is also one of the biggest issues with Boogie as well. Boogie is the guy who cries constantly about people referring to him as a LolCow and stuff like that. But like, Boogie likes to I want to dunk on him. Boogie has like people he really likes to go after. Like, it was the PKA boys for a while, Ethan Klein, people like stuff. Boogie has people he likes to go after. Sonny V2, he brings him up like repeatedly. June the King, you know, Mr. Snowflake for a while. He likes to bring up people to go after them. Hell, me, you know, Johnny Fox, I think, for a while. I think he was like talking about Johnny Fox and all. That kind of shit. Like, he likes to go after people. So when he cries about people going after him, it always feels really disingenuous.
All right, guess. That's what.
So he'll get sick on you.
What?
Oh yeah.
We tried to get him on the podcast show.
Again, I shit all over DDP on the last one. I'm gonna shit all over him again this one, okay? Because it's one of my favorite hobbies. Okay. I saw a clip of him getting mad that people weren't donating. You can't get mad that people look. When I live stream, I live stream for 2 hours, and once every hour at the top of the hour, I remind people, hey, I would like.
Once every hour at the top of the hour, Boogie will beg at least once every 10 minutes. This once at the top of the hour, I will nicely remind people. He won't. He will outright beg. In like live streams that are like, I don't know, an hour and a half long, I've got like 6 clips of him going a minute long, like minutes long. Like, there are times where it's like 5 minutes straight of him begging. He will then sing songs about about how people should donate to him and stuff like that. He will beg for a minute and a half straight, then he'll do a minute and a half like read on Meta PC, and then he'll go back to a minute and a half again on how people should donate to him. It over and over and over again, and he will always do it as a tee. Oh, this is just a joke, guys, and he just does it every stream over and over. I don't know, maybe his most recent streams, because I haven't watched him like a video game streams, maybe they're different, but on his older streams, holy shit, it was constant begging.
Some donations, I would like you, but you can't get mad at people in this economy for not giving you money. You can't get mad about it.
Yeah, but you shouldn't guilt them to do it.
Boogie. How dare you?
You know,
DSP works harder than Boogie does.
DSP, I'm working hard.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Even if you
see, as like even Wings, like it's why people like the comment section is full of people saying that Wings comes across as just like a much better person than Boogie. Like Wings, immediately, well, I can't shit on him. He works harder than I do, which is true. He works harder than Boogie. Boogie across the entire month will put out 1 hour's worth of content on his YouTube. He'll put out like 6 videos that are 10 minutes long each, shit like that, you know. And he'll complain that he's broke or something like that, which is just like I said, I don't believe. And then he'll live stream, and his live stream he'll just sit there and just like whine about stuff or talk about the same thing over and over. Like when I was doing stuff for the bigger video I would have planned for Boogie, going through his like live streams around the time of the documentary, every single one of them is the same. He has talked about the job interview on live stream at least 4 times. At least 4 fucking times.
Working hard. Ain't nobody entitled to buy your right. If I end up homeless one day, if I lose my house, if you know whatever, that's on. It's not my audience's fault. That's on me.
You're the one who made a dedicated begging video. Like, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. Like, yes, is it bad to, like, whine and tell people to donate? Yes, but that's because DSP is, like, whining and telling people they haven't donated enough because he's broke and I haven't made enough money here and blah, 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 and stuff like that. Like, that is DSP manipulating people into donating. Boogie manipulates people, too. Boogie just takes, like, a different aspect of it. He treats it like it's a funny little joke between him and his audience. That's a manipulation tactic. Him saying he's going to lose his house is a manipulation tactic. Those are all manipulation tactics.
Man.
Make sure you sign up for that membership at Wings of Redemption.
Yeah.
I think a Wings Redemption member.
But then he was like going off screaming at people like, you can't say that about depression. And he was like screaming at somebody. He's like, I have depression. You whatever. That's not going to get you sympathy, Phil. I know that the hard way.
Yeah. Then you can't criticize him that you do that stuff. So you can't criticize him. It's like he was like 3/4 of the way through that sentence and he was like, oh shit, that's me. And then he's like, oh, never mind.
I believe he has depression. I 100% believe he does have depression.
Dude, if you were Phil, how would you not be depressed? Okay?
No, he's not.
Wow.
Phil's a sociopath. He's not depressed at all.
But Boogie's out here mocking someone for mental health. Okay, Boogie, that's a bold statement of yours. I mean, he has also personally said that if he woke up one day as DSP, he'd put a gun in his mouth. So yeah, this is Boogie, mental health advocate and guru.
If you ask him if he ever did anything wrong, he's like, no. What are you talking about? He's always in good spirits as far as like you never see him like
same as Boogie,
and he just keeps asking for money.
Tommy, let's do a thought experiment right now.
But same as Boogie. Like Boogie thinks he's done nothing wrong. Anytime Boogie takes accountability for something like the documentary, he would later change it to be like, oh, well, to be fair, that was a joke, and that was a joke, and actually we lied about all this stuff. It actually wasn't about accountability. I was joking around about this and this and this, and you misunderstood this and this and this, and I'm defending this. It's like, Boogie does everything that he's claiming DSP does.
Close your eyes. You go to bed tonight, you close your eyes, you wake up, and you are Phil. You are in Phil's body, in Phil's life, okay?
First thing you do is you go to the bathroom.
Are you not fucking depressed?
Hey, first thing I do is I go to the bathroom.
If what protects Phil is he has a mental block that everything's okay and he's really good at Street Fighter and all that.
Which is what Boogie has.
He's like a gaming champion. Do you ever see his gameplay? Like, look at Wings. Wings can play.
Wings is a pretty good player, but he's not like as good as he thought he was, which is like the downfall of Wings. It's what I say about Tommy. Is like what Tommy just seems to struggle with people sometimes. I want to be overly mean to Tommy because he's meant to be the herder here of the LolCow thing, but he's sitting on DSP because like, DSP thinks he's really good. It's like, well, DSP apparently was pretty solid at Street Fighter. He wasn't as good as he claimed he was, but he was pretty solid at it. If he's doing decent in competitions, then he is pretty solid at it. Wings considered himself the best Call of Duty player who ever existed and humiliated himself in the 1v1 versus Syndicate, which was arguably one of the keystones in his career falling apart. Boogie just thinks he's amazing at everything. Like, he just thinks he's amazing at everything. Whilst he's shitting on DSP because DSP refuses to take any accountability. Well, that's Boogie, and thinks he's too good at video games, which is Wings. Like, you're sitting with DSP here. They're just in two parts, and they weigh 6 times what he weighs.
Like, that's one thing that nobody could say. Like is Wings the greatest COD player of all time? No. But
Wings said that.
What are you rated now in that?
But Wings said that.
I don't play Call of Duty.
No, what do you play now? You play Rainbow Six, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm champion rank.
You're is that the high? Yeah. Is that the highest tier?
The highest rank you can be.
Yeah. You can
is
play. DSP can't even do that.
Did he get back to challenge? I thought it was Diamond was the highest rank you could possibly be. Because I remember everyone used to laugh at him and say he's carried to Diamond. And any time I watched him, he was never even like close to Diamond. It's like if I said in Counter-Strike, it's like, well, one time I was a global elite, so I'm a global elite level player. I was like, yeah, but you got that once. And then, like, I realized he's got it numerous times before he fucking comes. It's like, 13 times, whatever, I don't care. But it's like if I say I'm a global elite level player, and it's like I'm fighting in, like, fucking Legendary Eagle or something like that. It's just like, are you though? Are you though?
But I bet if I asked him right now, are you as a talented gamer as Wings? He would say, like, yes, of course, I'm better. Like, in the middle.
This is like asking an elephant to climb a tree. DSP would whoop my in Street Fighter. I could not touch him.
Deal. Yeah. Like, in the words, you know how he got the championship? He only got it. He got
because everybody boycotted the tournament.
Yeah, because it was a bad copy of Street Fighter. Like, nobody played it. It was terrible.
I love all these people. Well, so, like, I would say all these people, but because like Thomas C doesn't really fall into it. But like Wings knows this shit because Wings watches like LolCow documentaries on DSP. But like, if you make a LolCow documentary on Wings, you're a terrible person. You probably are a pedo or something like that. You have all these skeletons in your closet. But he knows this information because he's watched the same shit on DSP, and he's using that shit, that stuff to shit on DSP. Same for Boogie. It is so weird when they're if you did it with someone else, that is totally fine. And haha, that person's a LolCow. They suck. Lol. If you did it with them, you're a psychopath. You're stalking me. You're like Jesus fucking Christ. It's too much.
It's bugged the shit and exploitable, which is probably, if I had to guess, that's what DSP did, and he literally made a career on it well into his 40s. It's hysterical.
But I'm just saying, I'm not trying to like you can't judge somebody by how well they do games. Like I'm good at shooters, but I suck at first person fighting games or fighting games in general.
You're better. Oh come on, Wings! If somebody's giving you a compliment for the first time in your life, why don't you take it? You're better. You're good at something, for Christ's sakes. My favorite time is when you fix the game. You go to the throw the game with that. Who was that guy?
I will go to my grave. The Alki David threw that agreement in front of me.
Alki David threw that game.
Yeah, he was doing this thing called, what was it, Battle Pass or
Billionaire's Bash,
like that. Like he was trying to get a website going off and popping off. And then the syndicate thing happened. Alki David came in real quick, wanted us to do it on Battle Pass or Battle Bot or whatever he had going on back then.
Billionaire's Bash.
And that's the agreement he wanted. He wanted a trilogy.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What did you think when Syndicate was no fun and decided to go to the world and said you bribed them? What were your feelings? What was going through your head at that?
Honestly, at that point, I was young.
At that point, you were considering murdering him. When we're talking about Deadpools, because like, this guy he beat off to porn of his friend, so he might kill women. But me, I told Syndicate I was going to literally fly out there and murder him for this.
Then, like this, we're talking. This is
13
years ago, almost 15. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're like, I was in my 20s. I was in Boogie's dating pool at that point. But
oh my god, it's if you just I need to get a big cutout and put it on this side of the screen here, because like his reactions are so fake. You're just like, you take away from how funny it is because of how fake your reaction is. That was a funny joke. This is a fake reaction. Stop it.
I was frustrated
Get some
and
help.
mad, and like at that point, it was just more like just right on top of the pile. I didn't give a
good girl.
You didn't care. I think it's so awesome that I hope that
because it was underhanded, but it's like at the same time it was like, yo, this is how it works behind the scenes, like your favorite reality shows actually set up.
Yeah, but it wasn't a reality show. It wasn't a reality show. This is the like Boogie tries to make this claim as well, where he tries to claim like everything he does is Andy Kaufman. It's all like 50D chess. It's all like mastermind ploys behind the scene of him like controlling the narrative and doing everything. All that kind of fucking nonsense. But like Wings now trying to rewrite the Syndicate thing, like, it was reality TV. He was just showing what always happens behind the scenes. And it's like, bro, no, just stop. Especially not back then. Like, if you want to argue that nowadays, where like the Logan Paul KSI fight wasn't that real, especially when it was like them immediately launching it into making like prime energy drinks. If you want to say that these two people were faking this for attention, yeah, sure, 100%. But like 13 years ago when this all happened, this wasn't the case. YouTube was considered a lot more honest, and that's why people liked it, because YouTube was seen as like real people doing real things. But when people watched Wings, as he showed like clip montages where he had specifically cut down his gameplay to make it look like he was the best player who ever existed, because he only ever showed games where he did well. You're obviously not going to show games where he fucking did terrible, or even average. That people thought that was Wings being real. They didn't realize. It's like when reality TV shows first came out, people didn't realize it was a reality TV show. Boogie's trying to act like, Wings is trying to act like that's actually what it was like. And the whole Syndicate thing was a reality TV show. It's like, no, it wasn't. It was you were butthurt about losing a game because you thought you were incredible at it. And now you're trying to rewrite it to be like, oh no, the whole thing was like organized by that Alexander guy, or whatever the fuck his name was, which... I haven't heard him use this argument before, where it was meant to be a trilogy and they were meant to have that payment structure. I've never heard him make this claim before. I've heard him repeatedly claim that Syndicate fucked him, and Syndicate is like such a pussy ass bitch for revealing that information, and he was actually really helping out Syndicate there because it was obvious he was going to win, and he acts like it was real, but now he's like, oh no, it was reality TV.
You're saying you got manipulated. You're not denying that you did it. You're saying you got manipulated into it by another guy, and you should have just.
No. I'm not saying anybody manipulated me into it. I've seen the proposition. I wanted to make the money. I figured he'd play along, and he didn't.
Yeah. Oh, he did. So okay. So that is your
okay.
fault.
Okay.
It is my fault.
Okay. So like, oh, sorry. Then I guess I have to just take up all back. Wings just worded that really poorly.
You can do something that DSP can't do right there. You're better than him already.
But it doesn't even make sense because the reality TV show thing, it doesn't make sense. The way he worded it really made it sound like that. But then when Tommy clarified his language, he was like, oh no, that's not what I meant at all. I mean, like, yeah, no, I just wanted the money and I did try and bribe him. I was like, what?
I mean, I could win a spelling bee too, but DSP probably can't do that.
Let me tell you something. I hope, because none of us know each other all that well, we finally throw together. I want to be your friend. I do. I want to be Wings' friend. I'm not kidding. I'm kidding. I know I'm doing my act a little bit, but I'm not at the same time. I want to be friends with people that fixed a video game. That's what you tried to fix a video game. That's so funny to me. And
dude, that happens way more than what I did.
I'm sure. But
oh my God.
You should see the behind the scenes like professional Call of Duty.
Oh, I'm sure. But I don't know those guys. I know you, and I want you to be my friend. You too.
I was in the behind the scenes of professional Call of Duty.
I want to date. I want to.
Here's the thing. Like, now Wings has got his back up because Tommy's really going at that over and over. So Wings has got his back up a wee bit, and this is when Wings gets bad, and he has to take his stress sip this time of Pepsi.
I want to be friends with Boogie because he dates young bitches. You know, so that's pretty cool.
You know, I will say, if I'm going to brag a little bit.
Okay, do you know what? If this is just gonna be the same thing again as earlier, I'm just gonna skip it. I'm bored at this point now.
This motherfucker did everything last minute for the fight.
Okay, so the girlfriend thing was literally just Boogie saying, "I have Arrested Development. I have lots of toys in my house. That's why I'm with young girls." That was the entire point. It was actually done pretty quick.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, you know what?
You didn't practice the fight? You didn't practice?
No. You know what I practice doing? Here's what I practice doing 3 times a day. I practice standing up, dude, because I can't walk so good.
Oh, well, that's another clip for my video. Thank you, Boogie, again, because he's once again changed his story. Remember, this is Boogie who last June, when he was getting ready for his fight with like Sam Hyde, claimed that he spent like 2 hours a day in the pool and 1 hour a day walking his dog.
I have no mobility, man. I used to be in a wheelchair.
I remember.
So?
You know this motherfucker ain't pounding no pussy for real.
So?
No, I mean, you know, a gentleman doesn't kiss the. I will say, a real man lets the lady do the work. I'll just leave it at that.
I don't work anymore. And I'm criticizing you.
Yeah, that kid barely walk. Lets the lady do the work. I'm just saying. I got advice for both of you. If you don't want to work, go Asian. That's my advice. I don't know anything. I'm a married man, very happily married. If you don't want to work, go Asian. That's the LolCow tip of the day. If you don't want to work,
go
Can you
Asian.
elaborate on that?
Yeah, go. I want more details on that, Tommy.
No, well, we'll do shows later, and I don't know. I don't want to be a LolCow. You're the LolCow, so.
Let me steal your thunder real quick. I will say that I have dated women from all personality types. Some nicer women, some more independent women, some more submissive women. I've dated them all.
No, you haven't.
And I will say,
I'm really at the point where I honestly don't know. Like, I always make the joke on my Girl World channel where I make a joke about Chantel, and I make a joke about her that I honestly think she was a virgin because she always tells stories of all these conquests, but she seems to have like little experience. And then when she finally met a guy that actually gave her a bit of attention and actually did seem to actually fuck her, she went insane. She was like a 15-year-old boy the first time he had sex. She went insane over him, like stalking him. Like, he didn't answer her text for a couple hours. So she went to his house and was like looking through his fucking windows. She went insane because she finally got a guy who would actually fuck her and actually give her attention. I'm at the point where, honestly, if you held a gun to my head and said, has Boogie ever had sex before? I'd be like, I don't know. I just don't. He just, for a guy who claims he has sex so often, he comes across like the biggest virgin I have ever fucking heard of before. Like, I'm sorry, Boogie coming out, I've dated so many girls. It's like, have you? That's the best I have now. It's just, have you? Really? Because, like, just so you know, I don't include any of the sugar babying or anything like that as dating. I don't, because it's not dating. It's not dating. If you have to pay a girl to spend time with you, you're not dating that girl. So, I'm sorry, I don't include any of that. The Danny thing, the ex-girlfriend from high school, he changed his story on that 1 billion times, so I don't even know how much I believe that. The feeder thing, he changed his story on that so many times. He claimed at the start of his career that he was dating a girl and she cucked him. And that is what Boogie directly claimed. Boogie claimed that he was dating a girl at the start of high school. At the start of YouTube. And she cucked him and ended up breaking up their friends group because she cucked him with one of his best friends, so it split their friends group. That is what Boogie claimed. So that one, I believe that's potentially real, but I still don't know if he actually had sex during that relationship. And I'm not sure if I believe he ever had sex with Des, so I don't fucking know.
But submissive is the way to go. If you can find somebody who's like submissive and nice and
Wow.
gentle, and kind and
Get in
grateful.
the back of my van.
Yeah.
Shut the up, right? Is it?
Does Boogie not? Oh, he's about to do his fake laugh. Oh, look at that fake laugh. That was incredible. I could sense it coming because like he pulled the fake laugh face. Like, yeah, does he not realize that's not like a good look when he's like talking about his girlfriend, quote unquote, who is like trauma bonded to him, is so self-conscious that she doesn't like leaving the house. She has such bad anxiety. She needs to be stoned 24/7. You know, all that shit. She didn't have a father figure. All that shit. And now he's saying, going, guys, do you know what you need? You need to find a submissive girl. Yeah. It's like, okay, Boogie. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, Tommy.
So fake. Oh my God.
There's something to say about
I like submissive with sass.
Happy husband, happy home. Am I wrong?
I want to meet your wife too. I think your wife's a sweetheart, by the way.
Yeah, actually, she is. I don't think
Shut
she cares
up.
much from you.
Boogie, fuck up. She probably doesn't care much for you because you probably treated her like shit because she's not an attractive female. That's probably the simplest terms I can say. She's not thin. He probably didn't give a fuck.
Kelly was wonderful.
Kelly is
submissive
bother
with
you? Kelly is probably more liked by your fandom than you. Does it bother you at all?
Oh, she's not though. Like
I think she
my
is.
fandom
No,
is so
yeah,
fucking
they
crooked
don't.
that they'll take a cancer survivor and make fun of her and call her Smelly Kelly.
Damn.
Why does it matter that she's a cancer survivor? Is Boogie saying he's going to be like, damn, they did that? That's mean of them. Boogie, you literally went up to Chris or Tom for surviving cancer and ruining your career. That's literally what Boogie went. I'm sorry. If he's trying to act stunned by this, this is literally what... This is why... It is probably the most interesting thing about the LolCow Podcast. It's not overly entertaining to watch, unfortunately. But, like, the most interesting thing is just seeing them complain about something, and then 5 minutes later, they're either doing it, or they're complaining about something that the other party, or even themselves, have actually done. And you're just sitting there just staring at it being like, holy shit, there's literally no self-awareness here. It's actually kind of mental.
It's like it doesn't even cross their mind what they're doing.
Why does it matter? Why does it matter that she survived cancer? She's a cancer survivor. Boogie's technically a cancer survivor because he had skin cancer once. Why does that matter? Oh, they marked a cancer survivor. Well, so did Boogie. Boo-hoo.
Kelly did your stream. She did a pretty good friggin' job. I got to be honest with you. She did a pretty good job. In fact, I think I watched it on. Well, I didn't watch it on your channel. I watched it on one of the what's his name? The Hoodlum guy that does a lot of stuff. Let's give him Lummox the Hoodlum. I watched, and she did a good job. I really enjoyed watching those clips. And you seem mad. You were mad that she did a good job. Be honest.
No, I don't remember it honestly.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of streams.
Yeah, I hate to ruin.
I bet he does remember it. Like
the illusion for everybody out there, you know.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is, Kelly genuinely loves Jordy. And
really?
She's genuinely a kind person.
Wow.
And just in the time that we spent.
I'm so glad, Boogie, that I will listen to you and your opinion on relationships and women and how genuine women are in relationships, as the man who for the last 4 to 5 years has had to pay women to be near him and has pretended near enough each time that they're actually his girlfriend. I'm going to believe you about what a relationship is. Thanks, Boogie. Thanks for chiming in.
How much she loved him, and it was kind of wonderful, and I was very happy for Jordan.
You met her for like...
How do you feel that you got that guy at home?
You met her like 2 or 3 times when you were in London. He hasn't actually hung out. He's making it sound like they're like best friends, and he's always around Wings' house. They met in London for the first time.
I don't know. I think we covered everything, gentlemen.
You know, there's one other thing I do.
Did you really cover much? Though? That's my biggest issue. Did they really cover very much? they mentioned the Boogie thing. They talked about EDP for a while. They mentioned DSP briefly. They don't really cover much. That's the thing.
We want to talk about actually.
Go ahead.
Can we talk about number one, talking about getting filmed when you didn't necessarily expect it. Is Chris Chan the most? I'm gonna call them he here a lot. I know people get mad. I don't really care.
Pronouns, Boogie. Pronouns.
Boogie doesn't. This is what I said. Earlier on. Is that Boogie gets super mad about, remember the whole Juggernuggets thing. Apparently that was all because he's standing up for Emily Saxton. He supports her. Call her Jesse's such a bigot, blah, blah, blah. And now Boogie's like, I'm going to misgender this person. I don't really care. It's like I said, this is the most interesting thing is to watch. It's just to watch them contradict themselves. And like, act like when they do it, it's like fine. But when anyone else does it, it's not okay. And then they go like, but if anyone criticizes us, it's because they have skeletons in their clothes. It's because they're probably like that. And then they just immediately prove that's because that's them projecting. They both feel that way because that is what they both are.
But Chris Chan, I will use your preferred pronouns if I have like any reason not to hate you. But at the moment that you bang your mom, I don't have to use your pronouns anymore. That's my opinion.
Isn't that like an allegation, Boogie? Isn't that like an allegation against someone with severe mental illness? Oh, it's weird. So like, can we just treat all the allegations against you as like factual? Like this is what I said. Holy shit.
Do you believe?
But yeah, also like, oh yeah, if I don't like you, I don't have to call you by the correct pronouns. I'm sure that will go down really well with his like lefty fan base.
Oh, how dare you?
I think he got off of that, honestly. I think
he did. So there's one thing I want to talk about. Just this week, as we're recording this, Chris Chan has been let out of jail again. He was let out of jail once before and apparently stole money from his mother's bank account and then went back into jail, and now he's out again. And as of yesterday, he was filmed.
Well, no, like the first time he just had a protective order served on him, wasn't it? And he had to leave the house. I don't know if he went to jail. I mean, like, Americans keep saying jail and prison, and I don't know what the difference is. Because I don't know if your prison's like the long-term one, and jail is like all the movies in America, they have like a drunk tank where they just like lock people in like the policeman's office. Weird. I don't know how American justice systems work. It seems really weird.
Back at the Sonichu Temple at his childhood home.
Why wouldn't he?
Presumably with Barb.
Well, yeah, presumably. But why wouldn't he?
Barb is in that house.
He beat the rap. There's no reason he can't go over
because
there.
at the end of the day, this woman is still getting or hurt, or I mean, she has Alzheimer's.
You're not looking at
to be fair, he could have not done it.
But here's the thing: the cops let him go. They have no reason to keep him out.
To be fair, he might not have done it, but he might have also said he did it like 20 times in a jail letter, in a phone call, and text.
He also said he was
said it over and over and over.
Yes, this is the thing. Boogie is going so hard. Like this accusation is proven fact, even though it apparently didn't. Apparently got thrown out in the court case. In court. I didn't follow Chris on things so super close, so I don't really know. But Wings is being like the reasonable one here, and being like he also said he was Jesus. So yeah.
And these letters too.
Problem. He said it's just what Wings said. Like he said he was Jesus.
At the end of the day,
I was going with he didn't do it for a while because even if I figured even if he had done it, it was unprovable because Barb's obviously not, can be a good witness, and neither can he. He thinks he's like a demigod or some shit, right? So I think that's
actual god. Thank you very much.
So they just dropped it because they had no evidence, and I think it's completely feasible that somebody could have talked him into doing that. And we've seen him he got talked into eating his own.
At the end of the day, separate him. At the end of the day, separate.
Oh yeah, the state is
right. Like don't have him in. Don't like even if you're just saying you're doing it. If you're telling the world you beat your children, you shouldn't be around your kids.
Your issues with the state. I mean,
But you said you were worried that you would abuse your kids like your parents abused you. And recently in a live stream, Boogie was talking about how he wants to have kids now with Dez too. Boogie said that recently. He wants to have kids with Dez too. So, like, based on what you just said, do you think if you have kids, you think you will abuse them like your parents did? Should your kids automatically just be taken off you? It seems really weird. This person was not found guilty, but they should be forced by law to not be able to see their mother again. It's just a bit of a weird take from Boogie.
Right, like, at the end of the...
Especially because Boogie, like, apparently claims that his mother was like a saint and cried because someone made fun of their mom or something like that. In a live stream, there's Boogie freaking out about how dare you say that about them? They were a great person, all that kind of shit. So and Boogie was like still visiting his mom right up until she died, and apparently was there when she died. Everything like that, but now he's saying, well, Chris Chan shouldn't be allowed near her mom because I don't know, just cause I say so, I guess.
This is another one of those scenarios where like I get it. Like a lot right-leaning people out there don't like social services, don't like human services. I get it.
Well,
This is the point of human services. Social services needs to step into the situation, evaluate Chris.
Where did this come from? Where did this suddenly come from that it suddenly became like a political thing against the right wing? This is what I say about Boogie. Like, it's just what the fuck? It just suddenly made this a political issue when it's about Christian fucking her mom. Like, what?
Chris somewhere where he's not harmful to himself or others, and it's so like I get it. Like I back in the day when early 4chan cropped up, and like I was following Chris, and I felt bad for Chris early on. But like,
no,
if you get manipulated to do something truly awful,
no, you didn't.
It doesn't matter that you got manipulated. You did the thing, man. You done the thing. Okay. If you go around telling everybody you did the thing, there's I don't know. There's someone needs to step in and help that situation.
If I had to stick up for those right-leaning people, I think they would even think in this circumstance. The right-leaning people are talking about people that are living off of welfare, not people that that generally need some kind of welfare.
Well, I mean, Chris will end up on welfare. Chris will end up on all the support if he's not already, and he probably should be.
But they make enough money via commissions and stuff like that, but they don't have to be. Like, but Boogie obviously cares solely about this issue because Boogie was on welfare, he was on disability, whilst also working at the same time, just working under the counter. So that's why Boogie cares about this. Also, obviously, free healthcare for him.
But I'm saying, get Chris the fuck out of that home, man.
All right, did he or not, Boogie? Shut up.
I think he did. I think he did.
Thanks, Tommy.
Wings, did he sleep with his mom?
I think he didn't. Honestly, like the same reason of him like wanting to be a female. I think he does everything for attention, and people were giving him attention for saying something just outlandish, and he ran with it because he thought he could make money off of it.
It's not even as simple as that. You could just talk about like the idea guy stuff where he was convinced to accidentally make his fake universe into like what was it, like Nazi occupied or something like that, where he's working with the Nazi. The idea guys convinced him to do all that kind of shit. I know they also convinced him that he was a CPU goddess from a games console from the Atari 2600 or something like that. Like, Chris will do basically anything for attention. Admittedly, you're sitting there with fucking Boogie. So, you know.
Fair enough. Hey, listen, up until a couple days ago, and I don't know if this is true or not, all right, I didn't believe he did it, and I also believe even if he did, there's no way to prove it because nobody's a reliable witness in the situation. But a fan wrote me something that was very interesting. Now, this is going with a fan claim, so it's like, look, this is LolCow. We can do third hand over here. We're not a news organization. Yeah. All right, so basically what the fan told me is that Josh Moon, you know who Josh Moon is, Boogie?
Yes.
I know of Josh Moon, yeah.
You know, I bet you guys both. Actually, Josh Moon did you a solid couple years.
Boogie has been on live stream with Josh Moon.
Back. Well,
yeah.
Josh Moon done me a solid too.
Yeah, that's it. He did you real solid. But supposedly the fan told me that he was listening to one of Josh's streams. Josh's streams usually disappear, and he was talking to Chris, and Chris allegedly said that he had a girlfriend, and she was an accountant, and her favorite actor was who's the guy that played Batman in the '60s?
Adam West.
Robin.
Yeah, this is ages ago.
Adam West.
Adam West. Yeah.
Adam West was her favorite actor, which I guess apparently.
No, it was Barb's. That's ages ago.
Josh supposedly didn't think much of it at the time, but what he thinks is after everything went down that it was Chris trying to sort of do a weird flex or a soft brag to let people know that he was actually sleeping with somebody.
Oh my God! No one in this podcast could possibly try and unsubtly hint at things to try and flex that they're sleeping with someone. This is why. It is so weird that he is discussing this and it's Boogie just like dead ass, just staring ahead, mouth hanging agape. Like nothing's going on. The lights are on, but no one's home. Nothing is registering here.
Not letting him know his mother. If that story's true, and I'm not saying Josh is a liar, I don't know if it was a comment on my YouTube channel. Let me take it for what it's worth.
Josh did say that.
That's true. I think I changed Wings. I think he might have done it, and I think they just don't have the evidence for the reason I said they can't get a straight story out of anybody or anything like else. You know, they didn't find it.
There's this thing in court where like you can like plead insanity. Chris Chan would be one of the few people that can get off with insanity because he's 100% off his rocker.
But I don't think that, like that's you just end up going into the hospital version of jail, which ain't great. You don't want to be there either.
Yeah, but you're more likely to be released than you would be in prison.
Inmates will tell you it's worse there.
It probably is, which is why we need Chris Chan on the next LolCow podcast. What do you think, guys?
To be honest with you, if Chris, listen to me. If you would, I will use your proper pronouns and I would be as respectful as I can. If you will come on the show so we can get to the bottom of this, I would be glad to do it.
It's so weird. I'm sorry. Like it's so weird. It's like if you come on, yes, I will actually call you by your proper pronoun, which is so weird against Boogie. He's like, I'm such an ally. Like it doesn't really work with all of those claims, especially when he's like so vitriolic. It's like, I despise Chris because Chris was into incest. And it's like, but you claim your mom's a good person, even though you claim that she did that to you. So you're just on the other side of it. When how do you know that like Chris wasn't abused? You know, I don't really like to go into super heavy stuff like this on my channel a lot, but like It's like I say all the time. It would sound better if it wasn't coming from Boogie. It just would.
Yes, let's do it. Wings, what do you think?
I'm down.
Let's
I'm
do
down.
it. Let's do it. This is
we done?
Podcast,
oh, okay.
Man. We're going to make this happen. All right, Games Attorney. I think we're going to end.
Okay, that's a pretty poor. Pretty poor for this being like their golden episode. I'm pretty underwhelmed by it. Like I said, the most interesting thing about it is watching it just to see them trip over themselves and do what they're constantly complaining about over and over and over again. And that is a lot more interesting than it is funny. So for like someone like me, if I was watching this to do like to just get information from it, I'd watch it at 2 times speed and I'd play through it in 20 minutes. And be done with it, and I probably wouldn't take a huge amount from it. But when I sit there and watch it and try and make like a reaction video for you guys, it's obviously going to be longer. But I'm going to go through and try and edit out because I feel like this is too long because a lot of this is uninteresting. If you're there to be entertained, and instead it's just there to like watch them and observe them lie a lot. But this is why I don't know if the LolCow podcast will like survive long term, because it's not entertaining. It's not. I don't. Maybe the DSP Mad one will be good, but it's a lot of the most interesting and entertaining stuff is the stuff around the LolCow podcast, not what actually happens on the LolCow podcast, which is not a good look. But that's gonna be the video, guys. I'm back. Hopefully, I'll get the DSP Mad one out soon enough as well, and then we can hopefully get a live stream. My second monitor, like I said, should be here in the next couple of days, and should be able to get it done. So yes, that's gonna be it, guys. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.